Have you ever felt like the heavens were silent when you needed them most? Long ago, during the time of the Judges, a woman named Hannah felt this exact way. The Bible tells us that the Lord Himself had closed her womb. Imagine the depth of her pain. Her husband, Elkanah, loved her deeply, trying to comfort her, but the ache for a child was a void nothing else could fill. Every year the family would go to worship, and every year Hannah's grief would resurface, raw and overwhelming. What she did next would change the course of history. If you're inspired by stories of faith and perseverance, make sure to follow our channel for more. In a time of judges and silence from the heavens, there lived a woman named Hannah. Her heart was a battlefield of sorrow and hope. She was barren, a source of deep shame and pain in her time, and was relentlessly mocked by her husband's other wife. Though her husband Elkanah loved her deeply, his comfort couldn't fill the void in her heart. The scriptures tell us that the Lord had closed her womb, a mystery she wrestled with daily. Every year, the family would journey to the temple at Shiloh to worship. For Hannah, this pilgrimage was a reminder of her emptiness. The songs of praise felt distant, the rituals hollow. But one year, something shifted. The weight of her grief became too much to bear. In the sacred halls of the temple, she collapsed not in body, but in spirit, pouring out her soul to God. Her prayer was not a gentle whisper. It was a desperate, silent scream from the depths of her being. Through her tears, she made a solemn vow, "O Lord Almighty, if you will only look on your servant's misery and remember me, and not forget your servant, but give her a son, then I will give him to the Lord for all the days of his life." As she prayed, the high priest Eli watched from a distance. He saw her lips moving feverishly, but heard no words. In his old age, he mistook her fervent prayer for drunkenness. "How long will you go on getting drunk?" he demanded. "Get rid of your wine." Stung by the accusation, but with a spirit unbowed, Hannah replied, "Not so, my Lord. I am a woman who is deeply troubled. I have not been drinking wine or beer. I was pouring out my soul to the Lord." Her raw honesty and vulnerability moved Eli. He saw not a drunkard, but a woman of profound faith. His tone softened, and he blessed her, saying, "Go in peace, and may the God of Israel grant you what you have asked of him." Hannah left the temple that day a different woman. A profound peace had settled over her, a quiet assurance that her prayer had been heard. She returned home, and soon the impossible happened. She conceived. The Lord had remembered her. When she gave birth to a son, she named him Samuel, which means God has heard. Her baby was a living, breathing testament to a mother's unshakable faith and God's faithfulness. But a promise is a sacred thing. As Samuel grew from a baby into a little boy, Hannah cherished every moment. She taught him, loved him, and prepared him. But in the back of her mind, she knew he wasn't truly hers to keep. The day came when Samuel was weaned, and it was time to fulfill her vow. With a heart both heavy and full, she and Elkanah traveled back to Shiloh. This time, she didn't come empty-handed or with a heavy heart. She came with her precious son, the answer to her deepest prayer. Standing before Eli, the same priest who had once misjudged her, she presented the boy. "I prayed for this child," she declared, her voice ringing with conviction. "And the Lord has granted me what I asked of him. So now I give him to the Lord. For his whole life he will be given over to the Lord." It was an act of breathtaking faith, giving back to God the very gift she had so desperately begged for. It was the ultimate surrender, a testament to her belief that God's plan was greater than her own desires. Hannah and Elkanah returned home, leaving their son to serve in the house of the Lord. But a mother's love never ends. Every single year, Hannah would sew a little robe, each one slightly bigger than the last, and bring it to Samuel during their annual pilgrimage. Her love was woven into every thread, and God, seeing her faithfulness, did not leave her empty-handed. Eli would bless the couple, praying, "May the Lord give you children by this woman to take the place of the one she prayed for and gave to the Lord." And the Lord was gracious. Hannah, the woman once called barren, gave birth to 3 more sons and 2 daughters. Her sacrifice had multiplied into abundant blessings. Meanwhile, Samuel grew up in the temple, ministering before the Lord. But the spiritual climate of Israel was dark. The house of God itself was filled with corruption. Eli's own sons, Hophni and Phinehas, were wicked men who served as priests. They abused their power, stole the offerings meant for God, and showed no regard for holiness. The place that should have been a beacon of light was shrouded in darkness and decay. Yet, in the midst of this corruption, a single flame flickered brightly. The boy, Samuel. The Bible says he continued to grow in stature and in favor with the Lord and with people. He was a lily growing in a swamp, a testament that purity can exist even in the most polluted environments. It was into this world, a world of silent heavens and corrupt priests, that God decided to speak again. And he chose the most unlikely of messengers. One night, as the lamp of God still burned in the temple, everyone was asleep. The old priest Eli was in his room, his eyesight failing. The young boy Samuel was sleeping near the Ark of the Covenant. Suddenly, a voice cut through the silence of the holy place. "Samuel, Samuel." Startled from his sleep, Samuel immediately thought Eli had called him. He ran to the old priest's side. "Here I am. You called me." Confused, Eli replied, "I did not call. Go back and lie down." So Samuel went back to his bed. A few moments later, the voice called again, "Samuel." Once more, Samuel jumped up and ran to Eli. "Here I am. You called me." And again, Eli, weary and confused, sent him back. "My son, I did not call. Go back and lie down." This happened a 3rd time. The voice called, and the boy responded with immediate obedience. But after the 3rd time, a realization dawned on the old priest. This was not a human voice. After years of silence, God was speaking, and he wasn't speaking to the high priest. He was speaking to the boy. Thank you so much for watching. The story of Samuel is a powerful reminder that God often works in the most unexpected ways and through the most unexpected people. If this story touched you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more content like this. We'll see you in the next one.